everyone, welcome back to our channel. I'm Tamlyn.
I'm Rachel.
I'm Ruan.
And together we are
the Northern Sewl Sisters.
We look bright.
Yes.
We look a little bit ridiculous.
Bright. So you might be able to tell just by looking at us what sort of video we're going to be doing. So we all received the same fabric in two different colourways in the most recent Beyond the Pink Door Think Pink subscription box. And we had this weekend away planned and we had the idea, let's take our fabrics with us and get them sewn up, and then we can film a video and share with you our different ideas for what to make with the fabric. So that is exactly what we've done. So we're here to just share with you what we've made, how we found it, and
you can see what we've done.
Exactly. So who wants to go first?
I will go first.
Go on.
Right, so I have made the Callie shirt by Closet Core. Now I have made a couple of these a long time ago, just the cropped version. And then I've been seeing recently, and they were always in like a stiff cotton type cotton lawn. But I've seen a couple of people make a longer version in a viscose. And I was like, oh, I like the softer look as well. So when we kind of talked about doing the project, I was really stumped, wasn't I, as to what to make with it. And my original thought was to make a lyra, obviously. But then I'd kind of gone off that idea, and then I was just flitting through everything and nothing felt right. So I went into my Dropbox, which is where I have all my PDF patterns, and I thought, just go and have a look at a pattern that you've already got. And I didn't realise I've got this on PDF. I've bought the actual paper. But anyway, doesn't matter. And that's why I cut straight into the paper of it, because I've got it on PDF, so it's all right. It's all right, Rachel. I've got it on PDF, do you know what I mean? But yeah, I decided I wanted to make the longer version. So I've made View B, which is the tunic version. So if I just stand up, you'll be able to kind of see where it comes to, and then it drops at the bottom. So it's got this curved hem. And there's different options that you can do, really. So the cropped one doesn't have such a dramatic curved hem, but you can do a long version, a tunic version, the cropped version, and then you have the option of doing a full button placket, a hidden placket, or like a pop-over placket, which the tunic pattern actually has, but I decided I wanted a full button placket. I thought trying to do the pop-over placket with a viscose would probably just give me more work than I really needed it to have. Anyway, it has cuffs on the sleeves and then a standard collar, and you can also have just a normal stand-up collar. Well, I call it a grandad collar. So you've got a couple of options as well of the collar. Now, I should have maybe extended mine by 2 inches because it's drafted for 5'6" and I'm 5'8". But when I held the pattern pieces up to myself, I was like, I don't think I want it that long, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. The only thing I've said to the girls is, because it does drop a lot at the back. Next time I make it, I might just knock an inch or two off that. I don't know. And the other option I thought is, if I make it again, is I might even make it longer, but just chop the curved hem off. Yeah. So you've got a couple of options. You can use binding to do the hem, or you can basically just roll hem it, which is what I did. It's a little bit easier, I find, when you're going around quite dramatic curves to roll hem it rather than bias bind it. And I know that because I've just made that Giselle coat and the binding on it was really tricky. For frame of reference, I've made a 16 on the top, and then I drafted out to an 18 because I really wanted it to be loose. You know, sometimes if you're wearing something that's long and you sit down and it's really tight across you, I didn't want that. So yeah, but the fabric sewed up really nicely, my buttonholes went in perfectly, the collar did, like everything went really well, which was a surprise. But I did take my time. I have made it before. I love making a shirt. It's a little bit more involved, but I really do like it. I can never get the inside of the collar 100% perfect, but
it's the inside.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's fine.
But yeah, I'm really, really pleased with mine. I'm like,
it's beautiful.
I'm suited with it.
Beautiful.
So yeah, and I think I will wear it because I was a bit worried about this pattern kind of taking over.
Yeah, it's
very bold.
It's a very bold print.
And I know I'm not scared for a bold print, but even for me, I was like, wow, that's quite in your face. The only other thing I could think of making with it was leaving it and making something for the summer or for my holiday, because I think it would look beautiful on holiday as well. But because we wanted to make it up, I wanted to make something that I would wear all the time. And I think I would definitely wear this. So
yeah,
that's me.
Fabulous. So did we mention the fabric is a viscose twill? I don't even know if we did that.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't think we did.
So it's lovely and drapey, it's got a nice amount of body and it's got like the diagonal twill weave in it. One thing to mention, if you have this fabric and you're going to be working with it, there are a few little faults here and there running through the fabric in both the colourways, so just look out for those and just work around them. We've all managed to work around them, which is great. So I have made the Sew Over It Winona jumpsuit, which is this one, like a sleeveless v-neck jumpsuit, quite casual. It's got cropped legs, it's got ties that bring you in at the waist, but you can leave those quite loose at the back. I've tied them around the back and then around the front to bring me in. You've got two different options for the back, so it just pulls on. So at the back you need a little bit of a fastening or something to give you a bit of room to get it over your hips and then over your shoulders. So you can either put elastic in the back or a hook and eye. So I just went for the elastic. It's just like a 10cm piece of elastic. It's cute, isn't it? Yeah. It's all done with binding, so the neckline and the armholes are all done with binding. And it's got patch pockets on as well. So yeah, I bought this pattern a few months ago when it was first released because I'm part of the VIP club, and I just really liked the style of it. I thought it was really casual and comfortable. You can wear it with a nice top underneath, and maybe in the summer I could wear it without anything underneath, and I just feel really comfortable in it. And
it's one that I've never particularly looked at, and now that you've made it, I'm like, I need to make it.
Yeah, it's really lovely.
It came
Really
together
nice.
really easily. Like the only little bit that I found a bit tricky was getting the back neat, where you insert the elastic and then the finish of the binding at the end. I ended up doing a bit of hand sewing. So yeah, just found it like the instructions maybe at that point could have been a little bit clearer on how to get a really neat finish, but I just ended up doing a bit of hand sewing and it's fine. I think it looks absolutely fine from the outside. So I'm really happy with the finished garment. I made a 12 at the top, graded to a 10 at the waist and hip, and I think that sizing's worked out great. I don't think I'd want to change it. I don't think I could go down to a 10 at the top because I think I need that space for like my shoulders, all around here,
and to get it over.
But then I don't think I'd want it any bigger really down here. So yeah, I'm happy with it. I've snagged the fabric a couple of times, which is annoying because it's a printed viscose, so it's got the white background and it's very susceptible to snags and like my rings and things like that snag things. So I have got a couple of little pulls here and there, but I'm just going to get a Sharpie out and try and cover them up. I'm not that bothered.
And the print's quite, like you say, busy, isn't it?
So unless you're up close. One other thing to mention is pattern placement. So it's this thing where you have a really bold print, and if you have a limited amount of fabric, you can't fussy cut your fabric, so you end up just folding it and cutting it on the fold. So I've ended up with like the same print on the front and then the same on the back.
I love it.
The back looks really good actually. It looks intentional, but
it's fine. Like Ruan said yesterday, she was like, because we're sewists, we look at that and analyse it. And whereas if you were just a person buying something from a shop, you wouldn't even think twice about it. So, and
I love the fact of the versatility of this because it looks very much like a summer jumpsuit, but obviously you've shown that you can wear it for winter as well. By
I've got tights underneath it as well.
We'll take a little video, can't we, afterwards, and then we'll pop it in so that you can get to see it in a bit more detail as well. But yeah, gorgeous.
Okay, so mine is still a work in progress, let me just say that, because I've made the French Poetry Pleiades 1 dress, which is quite an old pattern now, and I know that they did do a Pleiades 2 as well, but this is the original Pleiades 1. So it comes in various different styles, so you can add ruffles and all that kind of stuff on it, but essentially you have a dress that is sort of empire line, but it's got like a curved sort of underbust area here. It's got a centre front seam V-neck with gathering into, you think it's a yoke, but it's not. It's just the back bodice that comes over the shoulders, if that makes sense. You've got different sleeve versions. You can have a short tie sleeve, you can have a long sleeve as what I've got here, and then you can have a lantern sleeve, which sort of comes to here, and then you've got a balloon bit at the bottom as well. And it is gathered into the empire seam, and then you have a centre back zip, and it comes to, well, I mean, lengthwise you can do what you want. My intention is to make this just above my knee. Now, I originally made this dress a few years ago, and I've traced off the size that I was back then, and just because of time frames of being back at work after my holiday and wanting to make this pattern in this fabric this weekend. I just didn't get time to really look at the pattern and what I'd traced off. So I went with what I had previously made, and it turned out too big. Yeah, so I think what I knew it was going to be too big, but I think what I thought was it's just going to be loose on me, and that's going to be fine because that vibe works. The problem I seem to have is that I have actually really narrow shoulders, which I've never sort of really understood how I can have narrow shoulders, but I do. This sort of shoulder slope bit here, length here, is actually quite short on me. And because of the size that this dress is, when I first made it, the sleeves head came to about here. It was far too long, and everywhere was just too big. So the rest of it I could have got away with, but it was just the shoulder bit, because it meant that the sleeve was hanging off and it was pulling across here and just didn't fit right. So what I did was I actually went back and pulled the sleeve up to where my shoulder point was and marked it on one of the shoulders, and then added on seam allowance and recut the excess off the bodice. Reattached the shoulders and thought that would work, but the problem is the bodice is still too big, because the front bodice, the end of the bodice is here, whereas it needs to be about there. So there's all this extra here, which means that even though the shoulder point is in the right place, I need to get rid of all this. So I am going to have to take this apart begrudgingly, completely take it apart and retrace the size that I need to be for the top part, and then recut it and stick it all back together, which is a big process because it's all overlocked. But you know, this is the thing.
I think you've got enough fabric. It's big enough for you to be able to just chop.
It is.
Though, isn't
I mean,
it? Rather than
I don't mind the fact that, because it's not supposed to be loose, and you know, I mean, there's a lot of looseness here, but that's fine. I can cope with that. But the shoulders need to be right, and I think it's important to show you that even though we're seasoned sewists, things can still go wrong. And
you kind of just take things for granted sometimes too. And also, like, you know, you've kind of gone, well, this is going to fit, it'll be fine, it'll be nice and loose, but then you forget that actually it's more fitted round here, absolutely fine, but it's more fitted on the top, and you need it to fit your shoulders, your arm side, you know, your bust area. You kind of, you hope for the best, don't you? But it didn't work out this time.
No, it didn't work. So it's frustrating, but this is what happens. And, you know, no matter where you are in your sewing journey, you can still come across this, that you think something is going to fit and you want to go for that oversized look. And sometimes it works, sometimes you can get away with it, and sometimes it doesn't. And while it would be very tempting to just put this to one side and think, no, let's just move on, I am going to take it apart because it's a lovely fabric. And I mean, I did have
suits you as well.
I did have some of the same issue as the girls with the snagging of it, because it is a little bit sensitive to that. But yeah, it's worth investing the time into. So, because I think it will make a nice dress. But at the minute, it doesn't feel very me. It feels very frumpy. And yeah, I need to work on it to get it right and persevere. And hopefully I'll have a nice dress at the end of it.
Yeah, you will.
Yeah, you will. Okay,
I think we're done.
We're done.
So yeah, we'll take some photos, take a little bit of footage. We can pop those in as well, so you can see them in a bit more detail. But if you have made anything with your Beyond the Pink Door, I think Pink subscription box in these fabrics, do let us know, and let us know what you think to all three of our choices. That's it.
That's it. We'll see you again. Bye.